Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bernadette and today we're going to be talking about the movie The Batman. So just to give a brief overview of my own background, I haven't read any of the comics for the Batman series, but all my knowledge basically comes from the animated series from when I was a kid and some that I've watched now. I know the basics of the villains like Joker, Scarecrow, Mr. Freeze, the Riddler, stuff that I've watched from the TV show Gotham as well. So that's just my overall knowledge of the Batman universe. So let's get started. If you want to see a spoiler review, I'll leave the timer on the bottom below somewhere. Let's go. For a Batman kind of movie that has a bit more color and life to it, like Justice League, you're not going to find it with this one. It's very nitty and gritty. I think for me the quality is very close to Joker. If you thought Joker you couldn't really handle, like in terms of cinematic quality, you might not like the Batman. To be honest, I loved it. In terms of like looking at it from a film perspective, I loved the quality. Oh my god, the cinematography was beautiful. The use of lighting, beautiful. And in terms of use of lighting with the music as well, also the soundtrack for this movie, Chef's Kiss, it was phenomenal. Honestly, it gave me the vibe of the TV show Gotham, how it's kind of very dark and gritty, but also I guess more of a reality take with Joker's direction, as well as the standard of the film, definitely more towards like the Joker, but less indie-ish or biographical. I mean, like a biography. Honestly, if you like a really serious, toned, nitty-gritty with slight banter, you think you would really love this movie. Robert Pattinson did a great job as Batman. Can we please give praise to Colin Farrell as the Penguin? I would not think it was Colin Farrell at all. I would honestly think it was a completely different person as a completely different actor who took the role of the Penguin. It was an absolutely phenomenal job. I loved Zoe Kravitz as the Catwoman. I think she was a very interesting take from all the previous Catwomans that we've seen. There was a very sort of undertone, I guess, throughout the whole film. That's why I kind of call it the emo Batman this one takes. It doesn't focus on his billionaire side at all. We don't see anything of him really I guess towards that playboy kind of lifestyle like we saw in the Dark Knight trilogy. It's very different sort of direction. I always think I like it personally a lot. I think it's very realistic. It's more it's not so you're looking outside from the Gotham City. You're literally looking inside of Gotham City. It feels like you're part of someone who's just on the street seeing all this stuff happen around you. I think that's a great way to kind of describe this movie. It was honestly phenomenal, really good. You probably heard so many people praise it left and right. I mean, there was some nitpicky stuff that's a bit kind of like but overall it was a really enjoyable movie, and honestly 3 hours, it doesn't even feel like 3 hours. It felt like at least an hour or 2 hours, so they did a really good in terms of like time length for the film as well. Really great job. If I haven't sold you enough and if you haven't seen a bunch of other reviews saying how good it is, I really do recommend to watch The Batman. I think since the Joker and then this Batman movie, I think the DC universe in terms of the comics and the stories they have involved, I'm really intrigued to see which other stories they can pick out, because this direction they're heading in is really giving life to the DC universe. And I feel like we've seen Marvel soar for so long. I think DC finally is getting its chance to be in the limelight a bit more too. So I feel like it's finally getting a rebirth in a sort of sense. I really loved DC. I really cannot wait if they do make a second one, and I can't wait to see if they do keep going in this direction, what other characters and storylines and story arcs they can take from the comic books and bring to the big screen. So if you're not yet influenced, I really do highly recommend to go watch The Batman. You won't be disappointed. Unless you don't really like nitty-gritty movies, I don't think you might really enjoy it. But if you want something that's action-packed, something that's unsettling, oh, you would really enjoy it. Especially the Riddler. Yeah, you really do feel uncomfortable, and it really does crawl under your skin. So I'm going to go into more detail now. So if you haven't seen the movie, I really watch the movie first and then come back. But yeah, for those who have watched it, let's get into the details. Okay, so now we can get into the nitty-gritty details of the film finally. I do want to say though, I'm not how we had like that kind of, how to describe it, like kind of watching over, that kind of birdwatch view. I wasn't really like bird's eye view looking in. I wasn't really keen on that to start off with. I feel like they could have just scrapped that and gone straight to like the Riddler's perspective, like him being in the room. I feel like that would have already been like straight away into it. You already would have been like really unsettled and everything. That part, oh my god, it really got underneath my skin. How it was just dark and you could just see his eyes in the background whilst he was on the phone walking back and forth. Oh, I really like how they started that off straight away, just like this is Riddler and like this is what he does and this is where we're at in the story. I found it funny how the Batman was kind of walking through the crime scene and everyone's kind of like, what is he doing here? And how they're like, he's a vigilante. And if you don't know, like me, I haven't read the comics, but if you have a brief background of the situation, you kind of already know, okay, so this must be the early stages, because we all know later on that the Batman works with the police force, but obviously at this part they're all kind of wary of him, but he's still around. So we must be like, okay, it's the early stages. And you can kind of see already where the Batman sits amongst everything and with Gotham and the people of Gotham. Loved the idea of the shadows. That was pretty, I really loved that direction. That was pretty good. How it kind of focused on he was like, I am not only in the darkness, but I am the darkness. So I like how it had like the symbol in the sky and people would look into the darkness and you kind of get the feeling from them too, like you don't know if he's there or not, but the fact that the darkness is just there is already creating fear itself amongst the criminals of Gotham and stuff. So I found that was really good take. I really enjoyed that. How we got the introduction of Catwoman at the club scene was really interesting too, because I like how you kind of get, the sense, okay, she must be, obviously we know, but she must be Catwoman. There's something else going on at the table, happening right in front of him. I liked how that worked too, and kind of you followed Batman's gaze of her too. So it's like, hang on, here you can see that he realizes that she's actually someone who's involved and we need to actually focus on her. And he leaves the Penguin for a bit and then goes to her. I really like that kind of filming direction they had. That was really good. It had a nice flow. Also, we've actually got to see her, Selena Kyle, turn into Catwoman. I found that was really cool. That's the only time I liked that kind of from looking out, looking in perspective, how we're able to see her put the cat suit on. We see she has her little private weaponry in her room. That was a really interesting take. I was really happy we could see her flip out from, like, you could see her turn from Selena Kyle out the window to Catwoman. I really liked that a lot. That was really good. My favourite scenes from the whole movie, honestly, I think was the club scene when we see Batman first enter the club to go speak to the Penguin. I loved how they shot every scene. I loved the timing with the music as well. That was on point. The lighting for that scene was great. I really felt immersed in it, like you were actually inside it. I did go watch it in Extreme, so I wanted to be in the movie. It was really good. And the other scene that I loved was the car chase scene. Oh my god, hands down, everyone will say that the car chase scene was phenomenal. Oh my god, Colin Farrell as a Penguin was, I would not recognize it was him at all. Even like his accent, the way he spoke, totally different person. They did a phenomenal job on the prosthetics. Unrecognizable, honestly. I would, if you told me it was Colin Farrell, I'd be like, what? No, that's clearly not. It's clearly a different actor. They did a fantastic job on that, honestly. The car chase scene was freaking epic. It was it was really, really good. From start to finish, even the fact, I love the intensity from when the Penguin was trying to dodge Batman through the trucks, and you could see just like it getting closer. You could feel also squeezed in, and then obviously with the Batmobile, he just like comes straight out of it and gets him. Also, the part where the car flips. Oh my god. Cinematography was phenomenal. It felt like you were in the car with him. Whilst the car was flipping, you were also flipping with him. I don't know how they're able to get that exact rotating shot, but that was so good. I really, really appreciate that. You felt absolutely immersed in it. I didn't feel like I was in Batman's shoes. I was in the Penguin's shoes trying to run away from him. It was really, really, really cool. Paul Dano as a Riddler, I think he did a really good job. He definitely played off like that unsettling vibe, which apparently I heard that he did research based on like the Zodiac Killer, which makes sense because if you think about it, like someone as a Riddler in real life situations, it didn't remind me a lot of the Zodiac Killer. So I was like, interesting how he kind of took on that role. You could definitely see similarities for sure. It was so funny when the Batman and that cop was like at his place. This is after they like catch him and everything, and we see that video. I mean, I think it was a video. He was online, and you see his little fan base. Yeah, that was. I love that. That was really funny. You get to have a peek into like the dark web, I guess. And I know a lot of people were saying 500 followers, like that's not a lot. But if you think about it from the internet that we're using, that's not a lot. But if you think about, maybe he's obviously on the dark web. He obviously has a following on the dark web. So 500 followers from there are like actual real people. So I think that would be pretty scary. Like that's how I took it when they showed that scene. Don't come for me. But I wasn't really too keen on Alfred. You could kind of see how he was trying to get him to be more involved with the Wayne Enterprises and kind of step back from being Batman. Obviously because he doesn't want to have to bury another Wayne family member. But I feel like he didn't really have much of an involvement in the film. Like he was kind of there as a reassurance or a reminder of like Bruce Wayne's original mask. I heard someone saying how like the Batman is who Bruce Wayne really is and Bruce Wayne is just the mask. And I never thought about it that way. I thought about the opposite. But I really like that take because I think that's pretty interesting. It's me that it just like what was after that part where the flood comes in, after the Riddler puts all the explosions of the trucks around the city. It floods the stadium. And then he just like hops off and like slides down into the water. My friend and I were kind of confused. I was like, wait, what? I get he's trying to prove that he's not that. He's not a bad vigilante. He's not trying to set a bad record or anything. But like, it didn't really make sense to me. Like, I feel like he could have just like dived off the ledge and then gone to help the people do what he was doing afterwards. Like, when he went to go help them and they all followed him out of the darkness, that was beautifully shot, by the way. And I get why they did that. But from that moment where he's on the top and he realizes, uh-oh, that's not the example I want to give. And then he just like hops down into the water, into the flood. I was like, wait, what is he doing? Even my friend, she was like, wait, I'm so confused. Is he like trying to die or something? Like, it was very, that part from the top to him trying to help the mayor and everyone out. And I felt there's a disconnect there. It was going good, but then it just didn't make sense. Like from there, I was like, I get the message you're trying to get, but I'm not getting it. That we've gotten, the quality that we've gotten, I think having the Joker would be interesting, but I would also love to see other villains as well. You know what I mean? I would love to get the Penguin arc. That would be great. More Colin Farrell, please. That was so good. Yeah, just see where it takes off from there. I like if we kept doing, say how we had the Joker at the end as a little Easter egg, if we have another movie and have it focus on the Batman and Penguin, and then also have the Joker in the background again, I feel like that would be a really great way, because it's like something else is happening, something else is brewing, but we don't know what it is yet. We get little pieces of it, but we don't know exactly what it is. I feel like that would be really great. That's just my take on it. Anyways, but yeah, overall I think a great film. I think just overall a great film. I think just the ending, I was a bit, I'm not quite sure I'm happy with how it ended. I mean, the last shot, I am 100%, but I feel like from that one scene where he just, after he says vengeance and just like goes out, I was like, wait, what? Like, where is this going? Kind of thing. Oh yeah, and I liked how also, say future plans, they could definitely take on Batman versus the Penguin. I feel like they could definitely go in that direction. We find out that Selena Kyle heads upstate. We could definitely follow her. I feel like Zoe Kravitz could definitely get her own Catwoman movie, because I know the last one was Halle Berry. And that was okay. I'm happy with that one, but I feel like it could be a bit more. She could definitely get her own movie, so you could also go in that direction. I feel like they left a lot of open doors, which is really good, and I'm super excited to see where this whole, I guess, new era of Batman takes off. Yeah, so let me know what you think down below, what you thought of the movie. I thought it was great. I'll give it 12 out of 10. Definitely would love to see it again. Yeah, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this review. If there's anything else that I missed, if I got something a bit wrong, let me know down below. But yeah, let me know what you think, and hopefully I will catch you in my next video.